Turnaround. We just talked to our pal Stipe. How you doing, Stipe? Hey,
buddy, how you doing?
Well, very good. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Hey, let me ask you too. When Ngannou, you fought Ngannou, there was so much talk about. I was nervous for you when I saw the weight difference. It was 262 to 246, I think. Was he what you expected, and what was what you expected, and what was different?
I knew he's strong. He's a big boy. He kept the strength for a lot of the fight. But he's a tough guy. He kept coming. He's trying to still knock me out in the fifth round. But he just my game plan worked. I have great coaches, and we had a great game plan, and it worked out too.
The way you held him down against that cage, it looked so smothering and so frustrating. And they were talking about how smart you were, the way you made him carry your weight, the way you positioned yourself, where they said he would probably rather be getting punched than just lugging Stipe around like this.
Yeah, I mean, I was definitely trying to, zap his energy. Man's a big man that hits hard. He has devastating knockouts. I don't want to be on the tail end of that. So, just wanted to smother him and just work him and just exhaust him, and that's the way, we planned it out to be, and it worked out well.
Am I correct? Did you guys, I think you both landed a couple of times in the first round. Did he hurt you at all in the first round? There was one moment where he looked like he might have caught you.
No, it wasn't too bad. It wasn't, devastating. I mean, it hurt. It wasn't like I was hurt, but, getting hit doesn't feel good.
No. Stipe, my man, did you think that he was going to get as tired as he did get? Or, was that, I know you wanted to get the blood pumping in his arms and whatnot to tire him out. But, it came to, I give him credit for even getting through because it looked like he hit the fucking wall.
Yeah.
Did you think he was going to get that tired?
That was the plan, trying to get him exhausted. He's never been to that deep water before. I just wanted him to feel uncomfortable walking in there, and after the first round, I could see that that will was out of him. I think he knew that it wasn't going to be an easy fight and that he was going to walk through me.
Now, you guys might know the exact quote, Chris, about, what do you call it, Francis's coach.
I have it here.
Oh, you want to read that about his ground game really quick?
Steve, you may have heard this, but we're just going to read it for anybody who has not heard it so you can respond to it. Francis's coach was talking about the ground game. He said the fight was on the ground nearly 80% of the time. So how come he didn't finish him? Francis has a good ground game, and if you check at the end of the fourth round, Francis went for a heel hook, and it made Stipe run away. Francis could have stood up, but he didn't have enough energy. That's why he just laid down. We spent a lot of time working on his ground game with legit black belts. We spent time in Vegas, and he was working with Vinny Magalhães. I hope I'm saying the name right. Magalhães. He showed very good things. Stipe had head control, but he didn't finish Francis. Stipe had a guillotine, but he didn't finish him. Stipe escaped a heel hook from Francis. When was the last time you saw a heavyweight go for a heel hook? And, as Jim Norton, I'll just throw in, I think it was Mir Lesnar. It's not fair to say he didn't work his ground game. He did. It's not fair to say that Francis didn't work the wrestling. He did. Wrestling isn't just about attacking. It's about defending, and he showed good things on that. So how do you feel about that, Stipe?
Yeah, whatever. I won the fight, so I really don't care what anyone says.
Stipe don't give a shit.
You're a meat and potatoes guy.
Oh, Stipe don't
won.
He don't get caught up in the fucking drama, Stipe. You don't care. That's fucking great.
I don't care at all.
Now, it's fucking great.
Were you thinking of? Oh, sorry.
Ahead,
I'm sure finishing him was a thought, and you're so much better on the ground. But when you realized you were draining his energy, were you being careful? Because I remember. Forget who it was that he almost ripped that. He did rip the Kimura again. Were you aware that this guy is that strong that if you make a mistake trying to finish him, even with non-perfect technique, he could hurt you?
Yeah, he's a big dude. He's strong, and I had such control. I'm not going to give up that control. If you would have gave me something that was, out of the ordinary, I would have taken it. I almost got that rear naked at the end of the third round or whatever it was. But, once if I do something and say we're sweating, I slip, I don't care how good the jiu-jitsu it happens. We don't, we're sweating, anything can happen. I say I slip, next time I'm on the ground, next time he's just, punching my lights out. So I wasn't going to give that chance. Only way I would have went for a submission if it was just night and day there, like I did for the rear naked. And after that, I just realized he wasn't going to do anything, just, he's having a hard time just controlling me, so I just stayed on top and worked.
Now, as far as staying on top, and first of all, as far as ground games go, I seen you firsthand. You've been to my place a bunch of times when you're in town hanging out with your buddy fucking Heartthrob Volante and Weidman and them. So I seen you strangle many black belts. You talk about an underrated ground game. So I know what you could do. Do you like it better? And it's a stupid question because I think I know the answer, but as a former wrestler with the control, you really prefer that cross-side, right? With the control, then the mount? Or do you see if the mount's wide open, you'll just take it?
Well, if the mount's wide open, I'll definitely take it, but I mean, I ran him against a cage. I'd rather just lock in a leg in there, get half guard, just work. Just make him tired, make him do everything he wants. Because I mean, if I get the full mount, I'm definitely going to take it. There's no question. If he gives me an arm, I'm going to take it. Or he's going to like that guillotine. I had it, but I was like, yeah, you know what? I had it. I could have probably pushed it a little bit more, but he's a big, strong guy. He started lifting up. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to get out of here and start back over.
See, that's such an important part of jiu-jitsu and rolling in general is in class, people can go for something. If they lose it, they're on bottom. In a fight, if you do that same choice, now you got a fucking 300-pound Francis elbowing you in the face. You know what I mean? So you make it's really important to keep that control because just one slip could just change the total outcome of the fight. Yeah, well, that's why you're the fucking champ. What am I telling you?
Now, I was interested in Francis. I want to ask you two questions. Of course, we have to ask you. You took the belt from Dana and handed it to one of your coaches, and it was a slightly awkward moment. And you said something about he respects me, I respect him. I saw you post fight. It was a very kind of a quick answer you got. How are you feeling about Dana and about the UFC? Are you a little annoyed about anything?
Oh, no, listen. I'm doing Ultimate Fighter, so I appreciate the opportunity.
But are you? Do you feel kind of like you're being looked past, even though you are the heavyweight champ?
Listen, it is what it is. They can do what they want. I don't really care. End of the day, I know who I am, and I know my beliefs and what I want, and I don't really care. I let my management team handle that.
Well, okay, so it might have been about that. Because in a way, when you look at the fact, Ngannou said, which I respected Francis's honesty, this is part of the game I wasn't prepared for. He really... And I was surprised that he admitted he underestimated you, which, by the way, that's his coaching staff not telling him you can't underestimate, the fucking heavyweight champ. But
it's a fucking moron. First of all, not to be a jerk to Francis, but that's a moronic thing to say.
It's honest, though. The fact that he was honest enough to say he thought he was just going to knock him, like that he underestimated him. It was a dumb thing to do. It was dumber. And he admitted that. So in a way, that might work for you. Like the fact that, they didn't, you'd rather have a Francis underestimating you than coming in knowing what you're, how
Stipe
deadly
don't
you are.
Give a fuck. Do you, Stipe?
No. I mean, listen, underestimate me, overestimate me, I don't really care.
That's exactly what I thought.
I mean, I don't care who I fight, I'm not going to underestimate anyone. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to try to do what I do and win the belt like I do every time.
So let's talk about DC. That's a really interesting matchup. I think that, he's more... Francis is like a knockout machine, but I think DC is a tougher matchup for you than Ngannou, even though he went the distance, because DC has arguably the hardest chin in MMA. He can take a punch from anybody. He took him from Rumble Johnson, and he's a wrestler and he's a smart fighter. So, what are your thoughts on him?
Oh, he's super tough. He's an Olympic medalist. He won the Strikeforce Grand Prix. The 205 heavyweight champ. Guy's an animal, dude. He's gonna be a tough fight, But unfortunately, I'm walking out with the belt still. I love the guy. He's a great guy, but listen, it's gonna be a great fight. But I'm walking out still a champ.
Well, yeah, you're definitely going to have a weight advantage, too, because, again, Ngannou was so much heavier. But you came in, I want to say it was 246. So DC comes in at 205. What's he walk around at, like 220, 225? So maybe he'll come in at 230. So you'll still have a decent amount of weight on him. But although he trains with Kane, though, which is different than being hit by Stipe, but he does train with heavyweight, so he's probably used to it.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Definitely. He trains with the best guys around the world. He's a super tough guy, like I said. He's going to come out, gunning, like he does every time. He's an amazing fighter. He has a great, accolades of what he's done. The he's coming out. He's coming hard. I know he is. It's going to be a great fight.
Now, as being a coach on The Ultimate Fighter, that's going to be an interesting experience for you. I was a contestant on that freaking thing. I was a coach, so I know what you got coming up. Are you excited about that? What's your thoughts on being a coach and bringing your team in with that?
I love it. I think it's going to be an amazing experience. Definitely give these guys a shot and a chance, and definitely help them out. Hopefully, I can help them out. That's the plan. We have a couple of high guys in the team. Actually, one of the guys from my gym is going to be in the cast, so that's going to be cool. We have some great coaches. My head coach can't be there. I have Mark Montoya from Factory X from Denver and Colorado. He's an amazing coach. He's coming out with me, and I'll have some other coaches out there too. So it's going to be an amazing experience. I'm just here to help these guys out, and help them with their journey.
Now those reality shows, sometimes there's a lot of fucking drama.
A lot of drama.
And Stipe, he seems drama free.
You do.
So are you gonna there's drama in the house or anything like that? Are you gonna step in like a big brother, or are you gonna be like, guys, break fucking windows, or are you just not gonna get involved with that shit?
We'll see. You ever see that meme where I'm not all about the drama. but then when you hear drama, you smile because you like hearing about it.
Sure, Stipe. That's fucking good.
That's me. But no, man. Listen, like it's one of my guys, and he, they're being idiots or something. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna step in and say something. But if it's between those guys or whatever, I think I'll know when to step in, when to step out. Do all that.
Well, I'll tell you that because I didn't really emphasize it before. The fight you did have just now with Francis, it might be one of my favorite freaking heavyweight. Just because of the build-up and everything, it felt like I was watching a fucking Rocky movie, man. It really did. It was such a fun fight, Stipe. Oh, God, I was going crazy.
And Matt and I both picked you, and I jokingly said Stipe by decision. I should have kept that because I would look like a fucking fight genius.
Wait, Jimmy, who did Chris the producer pick in this fucking...
Oh, come on. Did you pick Stipe?
Oh,
yeah.
Get him!
Just reminded him.
Get him, champ.
Go ahead.
I'll be in New York soon.
He's going to be in studio.
Just a gut shot. Just a solar plexus shot with your elbow.
Okay, great.
But I'll be honest, Stipe, it really was scary, though. When I saw him weigh in that much more, I was like, fuck, man. And but, I thought the first round, I knew Francis was going to try. Everyone, you knew it, too. He's going to try and knock your head off. But sometimes guys in those fights show each other almost too much respect. Yeah. Like, once in a while, you'll see that where both guys are like, this could be a problem. So those fights a lot of times do go in the second round.
Was it like the fourth round or which round was it when you ran him from one side of the cage to the other on your feet with that double leg? That was the third round.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Third round.
It all blends into one, doesn't it, Stipe? After that shit?
It does.
But Steve, I've never seen him more, because your conditioning is so good. I mean, look, again, guys get tired, but I've never seen a more tired fighter. And I respected Francis for staying in there for 5 rounds. He did. Again, he was hard to submit. He did not go down. He didn't quit. But the fact that I've never seen a guy more tired in the ring, I think, than him fighting by round 2.
Yeah, I was tired after the first round. He was coming after me. I was like, holy crap. It was like a freight train. I was just trying to stay out of the way, and I could hear anything crazy. He just kept following me, running after me. I'm like, oh, my God. And I wasn't hurting, but when you hit some shots, you're going to get tired. They're just, natural. And after the first round, I started getting my wind back. I was fine at the second, third, and started getting better for the fourth and fifth.
Well, you did take a couple of shots, body shots. And did he hit pretty much like you expected him to? Or like whenever anybody fights Khabib, they always go like people think he's stronger. And then with Conor hits harder than people expect him to. Did you have that effect, or was there so much hype it wasn't as bad as you thought?
Well, I mean, he definitely hit hard. There's no question. He's a big boy. It wasn't like, devastating when I was like, oh, my God. Tussy, I don't want to get hit with that for 5 rounds. That'd be terrible. But, he definitely hit hard. I mean, there's no question. But it wasn't, plus I was making sure I wasn't getting anything that was terrible.
And the wrestling took the win from his sails, Jimmy.
That was such a smart move.
It was strategic.
It was smothering and hard to watch. It looked so uncomfortable, but it was just a perfect game plan. You were right. You do have the best coaches, because that was such a smart way to approach that fight.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Well, listen, man, we love you. You know that. And come in studio and hang with us next time. You've been on the phone. We'd love to have you in studio when you are in New York. And then you can look directly at our cowardly producer right now, who is under the table.
Yeah. And big congrats, Stipe, on becoming soon to become a father. I have 3 daughters. I know what you